My dear brothers and sisters, let us take a moment of silence. Just a breathe. Let your heart be still. Have you ever watched a mother waiting at the door for her child to return? She doesn't check the clock. She doesn't grow tired. She just waits with arms wide open. Because love waits. Because love never gives up. Today, I want to speak to the one who feels far from home, to the one carrying the weight of silence, of shame, of something left unsaid, to the one who thinks they've gone too far, failed too many times, or simply faded away from the joy they once knew. Come back home. God is waiting for you, and His arms have never closed. Let us walk this path together, slowly, gently, with hearts open. My brothers and sisters, sometimes we think God must be tired of us, tired of our promises that we don't keep, tired of our failures and our forgetfulness. We imagine Him as distant, as if He's folded His arms and turned away. But this is not who God is. God does not tire of loving. God never tires of loving you. We see this in the gospel again and again. Jesus does not walk past the beggar at the gate. He does not avoid the woman caught in shame. He does not rush by the blind, the lame, or the leper. Instead, He stops, He listens, He touches, He heals, He loves always. And if this is how Jesus, the face of the Father, treats those who were cast aside by society, how much more will He do the same for you? I once met a man who had spent years in prison. He told me the hardest part wasn't the bars or the silence. It was believing that no one cared if he came home. But then one day, he received a letter from his mother. Just 5 words, "I am waiting for you." That letter broke him open. It made him believe again, not just in his mother, but in mercy itself. God is writing that letter to you every day, in the sunrise, in the face of a child, in the quiet whisper of your heart that says, "There is more to life than this." His love is not measured in your success. It is not reduced by your weakness. He doesn't say, "Come back when you're better." He says, "Come now, just as you are. And if you feel unworthy, good. That means your heart is soft. That means grace can enter. The door of God's heart is wide open, and you don't need to knock loudly. A sigh is enough. A tear is enough. Even silence is enough. So come home. God is not tired. God is not far. God is waiting with open arms. And when you feel that embrace, let it change you. Let it soften what has grown hard. Let it awaken you to the people around you, the ones who feel forgotten, the ones who are waiting for your open arms. Love waits, mercy waits, God waits, and the door is open. There are many people today, maybe even some of us here, who carry their wounds like a secret they must hide. Wounds from the past, wounds of rejection, of betrayal, of guilt, or of fear. And the world can be harsh with the wounded. It often demands perfection, performance, and strength. But Jesus walks differently. He does not pass by the broken. He goes to them. He kneels beside them. He touches the parts no one else wants to touch. He does not ask for a clean heart. He gives one. You are not your wound. You are not the name someone else called you in anger. You are not the mistake that haunts your memory late at night. You are not the shame that keeps you quiet. You are a beloved child of God. And your scars are not a reason for rejection. They are the very places where grace can flow. I think of the woman who reached out just to touch the hem of Jesus' garment. She had been bleeding for 12 years. She had been ignored, judged, left outside the temple gates. But her quiet courage caught his attention. And he turned to her. He saw her. He called her daughter. God sees you in the same way. Not as a problem to solve, but as a person to be loved. Sometimes the poor know this better than the rich. The ones with nothing left to prove, they open their hands and receive. I have seen it in the face of a homeless mother who still finds strength to smile at her children, in the eyes of a refugee who still believes in peace, in the old man who, after years of silence, whispers a prayer for the first time in decades. They remind us that even in our wounds, we are never abandoned. Do not be afraid to show God your wounds. He is not scandalized by your pain. He carries wounds too. His hands, his feet, his side, they bear the marks of love that suffers with us. And in his wounds, we find our healing. So let yourself be seen. Let yourself be loved. Let yourself begin again. You are not your wound. You are not your failure. You are a beloved child of God, and He is calling you by name. There are many doors in life. Some are opened with ease. Some are locked tight. Some lead to safety, others to loneliness. Many of us have stood before a closed door, unsure if we're still welcome, perhaps after a mistake, a failure, or simply too much time passed in silence. But the door of God's mercy is not like the others. It is always open. It is not guarded. It does not creak or resist. It opens as soon as your heart turns toward it, sometimes even before. Jesus tells us in the Gospel that He is the door, the gate through which the sheep enter and find life. And He does not say, only the righteous may enter, or only those without a stain. He says, come to me, all of you who are weary. That includes you. That includes me. That includes the forgotten ones, the ones who sleep under bridges, the ones with addictions, the ones in prison cells, the ones we don't make space for at our tables. God makes space for them, for us, always. I once visited a shelter where a sign above the entrance read, "Here no questions, only welcome." I thought, what if the church could say the same? What if our hearts could say that? What if your own soul could say that to someone who hurt you long ago? Mercy is not weakness. It is the strength of God bending low to lift us up. It is the hand that reaches into the pit and does not recoil. It is the embrace that says, "You still belong, you still matter." Let us stop being afraid of mercy. Let us not keep others or ourselves locked out by fear or pride. Let us unlock the doors in our lives that we've kept shut for too long. The door of God's heart is open, and it opens into a home, not a courtroom, into a feast, not a trial. So come close. Do not wait until you have the right words. A whisper is enough. Do not wait until you feel worthy. Love will make you whole. And when you find yourself inside, embraced by mercy, look around. Who else is still outside? Go. Invite them in. Tell them the truth, the door is still open. It always has been. When God calls us home, He does not call us one by one to separate rooms. He calls us to a table, a shared table, a common life. He does not say, "Come back to me and stay alone." He says, "Come back to the family." Because faith is not a private refuge. It is communion. It is belonging. It is learning again how to say, "We are in this together." The church is not a fortress for the perfect. It is a house for the journeying, a family made up of sinners and saints, doubters and dreamers, the wounded and the willing. In every parish, behind every pew, there is a story, a mother grieving a lost child, a man hiding his loneliness behind polite smiles, a young person unsure if there is room in the church for someone like them. And all of them are our brothers and sisters, not strangers, not problems, but family. Sometimes we forget this. We sit close to one another, but live far apart. We worship together, but do not speak. We share the bread of life, but not the burdens of life. Yet Jesus is clear. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there. Not where one is great, but where many come together in humility and love. I remember visiting a small village where a poor family had just the one table in their tiny home. It was scratched and old, but big, and every Sunday they added chairs, always one more, for the neighbor, for the orphan, For the stranger who knocked, they said, if we add a plate, there will always be enough. This is what God wants from us. Not to build walls, but to open doors. Not to hide behind rules, but to step out with compassion. Not to ask, do you deserve to be here? But to say, I'm glad you came. Let us return not just to God, but to each other. Let us forgive. Let us reach across what divides us. Let us speak kindly, listen deeply, and walk together. This is not just how we come back home. It is how we become home for others. And if today you feel alone, remember you are not. The church is not whole without you. The family is waiting. There is a place for you at the table. There are some who say, it's too late for me. They carry the weight of years spent far from faith, far from family, far from themselves. They say, I've made too many mistakes. I've missed too many chances. But Jesus does not speak this way. Jesus says, today, not tomorrow, not someday. Today is the day of grace. Today is the day you can begin again. God is not bound by time the way we are. He is not watching the clock. He is watching the heart. And every time a heart turns back to Him, even trembling, even unsure, heaven rejoices. There is no age limit to mercy, no expiration date on hope. I have seen this truth in the face of a dying man who, after a lifetime away from the church, reached out his hand for a priest. His words were few, but his heart was open. And in that small, fragile moment, God came close. A whole life can be changed in one moment of honesty, one breath of surrender, one tear of longing. Grace does not ask for more than that. Grace only asks for yes. Perhaps your road has been winding. Perhaps you've walked in circles, stumbled, wandered in silence. But even so, each step has brought you closer to the threshold of home. The path of return is never blocked. The Father is still on the porch, scanning the horizon, waiting for your silhouette to appear. Begin again. Begin small. Begin where you are. Begin in prayer. Begin in kindness. Begin by reaching out to someone you've avoided. Begin by forgiving yourself. God is not asking for grand speeches. He is asking for your heart. He is asking you to trust again. Not just in Him, but in the possibility of change, the reality of love. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. There is still time. There is still hope. And yes, there is still room at the table, so stand up. Take the first step. Come home. Come back to the one who makes all things new. Begin again. And do not be afraid. My dear brothers and sisters, we have spoken of mercy, of healing, of doors that remain open, and arms that are waiting. We have spoken of home not as a place of perfection, but a place of welcome. This is what God offers us. This is what God is. Not a distant judge, but a loving Father. Not a cold silence, but a warm embrace. So if your heart is restless, come. If your past feels too heavy, come. If you've been away too long, come. Come back home. God is waiting for you with open arms. Let us not wait for tomorrow. Let us not be paralyzed by fear or shame. Let us listen to that quiet voice inside, the one that still believes in love, in forgiveness, in starting again. That voice is the whisper of God calling you by name. And once you return, do not keep this love for yourself. Go out. Love boldly. Forgive generously. Welcome others with the same mercy that welcomed you. Be the arms of God for someone else. Be the sign that no one is ever too far gone to be found again. May you walk with courage. May your heart remain open. And may your life speak of hope. Good luck on your journey home. And thank you. Thank you for listening with your heart. May God bless you and all those you carry in your prayers.